Hello everyone, welcome to EPG Pathshala. I am Dr. Neha, affiliated with Tata Institute of Social Sciences, Mumbai. Today we are going to study module on basics of doing feminist research as part of paper on gender and social work. In the previous module on feminist research methodology, we learnt about the principles and various aspects of feminist research methodology. However, knowing those principles and aspects and employing them in the field are two different things, and it takes special skills as a researcher, special techniques as a researcher to bring the communion of the two when we conduct such a feminist inquiry in the field. This particular module focuses on the basics of doing a feminist research, a very basic guide to do a feminist research. It discusses the various factors that need to be taken into consideration while undertaking a feminist research, the various steps that need to be followed, the many strategies that may be employed, and the various challenges that one may find himself or herself facing in the field while conducting a feminist research. So during the course of the module, by the end of the module, you should be able to understand the basics of doing a feminist research, the basic steps that may be taken in a feminist research. You should be having a critical understanding of various issues and concepts that distinguish feminist research process, and you should also be having an understanding of how to engage with the challenges, how to respond to the challenges when you are undertaking a feminist research. Basically, I'll begin by saying again that feminist research methodology is just a research paradigm which is based in the principles of feminism. The basic principles of feminism that we are talking about include, number one, for example, having gender lens as the primary lens to look at the social reality. Secondly, within feminism, there is this focus on visibilization of women's experiences because they have been systematically and historically invisibilized. There is also requirement and also call for using participatory research methods. Reflexivity on part of the researcher is also very important in feminist research. And then there is this focus on transformative action. The research aims at some kind of transformative action, and that is the ultimate aim with which a research within feminism is undertaken. So all these feminism, all these aspects are basically the guiding steps to all the strategies, to all the further steps that you take as part of the research process when you reach the field with a feminist inquiry in your research question or as part of your research proposal. Basically, as said earlier as well, by involving all these principles, by engaging in various steps of research process which are responsive to which are considerate of the feminist principles, one is actually trying to find out what has been left out in the existing knowledge. And the feminist research methodology says that knowledge about women is either distorted or it does not represent women accurately. So these kind of gaps in the existing knowledge about women, this is what feminist research methodology or any feminist research is something which it is undertaking. So when we are undertaking such a research which aims at transformative action, finding out the gaps in the existing knowledges about women's lives, the kind of topics that one may undertake may be identity of a woman, violence that she faces at workplace or at home, education. There can be workplace discrimination on any ground that one woman might be facing, primarily on the ground of being a woman, of her gender. So a feminist orientation thus basically provides a direction to undertake a research that may be focusing on certain topics that relate to women's lives that have not been touched until now, or that have been inaccurately represented until now in the existing knowledge. So like any other research, now we see what does an a typical feminist research process looks like, what can be the various steps and strategies that one might need to employ or one might need to undertake in order to complete a feminist research. So there is a series of steps, and these steps are more or less almost similar to the steps that are taken in conventional researches as well. It's just that the steps are taken while keeping feminist principles or the overarching goal of the feminist research in mind. So firstly, what we do is we select a research subject. So now what makes a feminist research feminist is the kind of select we subject, is the kind of topic we select, is the kind of subject that we select. So the subject that we select should have the potential to help women by altering unequal social relations of gender. The research topic should be such that it has the ability to transform gender relations which are presently unequal. While setting research subject, the researcher must know what kind of information will be required to bring such kind of transformation, such kind of alteration in gender relations. Even though the research problem might arise out of researchers' personal experiences or generic interest in a certain topic, but the research's goal should be political. The topic can arise out of personal experience, but it should be something which has a political goal. Often, the research subject should also be able to capture women's everyday realities, women's everyday experiences of their immediate surroundings, of their immediate concerns, as well as it should be able to affect the larger structures that cause such experiences. So it is at two levels that the subject should be working. It should be a very immediate local topic. At the same time, it should be having a political implication for women at large, for the gender relations at large. Second step that we take in a feminist research, is formulating research questions. But then how do we formulate those research questions? As is done in conventional social science researches, when writing objectives or research questions, the researcher must clearly state what information is required to make a positive impact on the lives of women. The information sought should also be persuasive to the right audience at which the results are targeted. At the beginning itself, one person should be knowing what kind of information should be persuading the right audience when we have the information. The question should also not be vague. They should be accurately articulate and clear in their words, and should be able to, because that's when they would be able to get clear and meaningful answers. Then we move on to selecting research methods. What kind of methods do we select in a feminist research? Once there has been a topic which has been selected, we have also selected the research, we have also stated research questions. Now we seek appropriate methods to seek answers to the objectives that we have clearly stated. Most of the feminists argue for using qualitative methods. However, qualitative responses can and should be supplemented and supported by quantitative indicators of women's lives. If the research goal requires a descriptive understanding of a particular phenomenon, the methods adopted have to be qualitative, that capture the varied and detailed responses and experiences. While it is, on the other hand, if the goal of the research is to study relationship between certain phenomenon, certain indicators of women's experiences and lives, the impact of such relationships on women, such information can be best collected using quantitative methods. Also, usually large studies, especially those aiming at larger policy implications and policy change, are primarily using quantitative methods, and studies which aim at creating knowledge about women's lives, and the studies which are done in academic institutes which have theoretical which has creation of theories and addition to theories as its goal. These kind of theories, these kind of studies use qualitative methods. They use narrative accounts of women and employ in-depth interviews perhaps, and sometimes oral histories. They can be some of the methods that those researchers employ in their qualitative research that they are undertaking. So there are basically no feminist methods. Rather, any method can be made feminist from a pool of qualitative as well as quantitative methods. Instead of focusing on what method to employ, the context and the purpose of the research should be guiding which method one should be adopting at what level or what stage of the research. The commonly used methods within feminist research methodology include in-depth interviews, oral histories, participatory observation, etc. Also, increasingly gender-aware frameworks are being created and used to capture various aspects of women's lives. Now we move on to, we have selected certain methods. Now we become attentive to the limitations of the methods that we have chosen. We have to we cannot treat the method to be absolutely wholesome in its ability to give us the information that we require to change the lives of women. So whatever method we use, the researcher should be attentive to the limitations and should be simultaneously addressing the limitations. In the case of use of qualitative methods, the researcher should be aware that he or she avoids overgeneralizations and misrepresentations. It's so much easier to misrepresent a narrative account of a woman. So a person should be always attentive that he or she does not misrepresent a quotation or a personal narrative of a woman. Extra care should be taken while using quantitative methods, and the researcher must consciously incorporate feminist value in their case, because many a times the quantitative methods are extractive in nature, they're exploitative, they use the participant to get a certain kind of response. These kind of limitations of quantitative methods should be carefully and systematically and periodically addressed by the researcher. Now, because we understand that there are limitations of the methods, there are limitations of qualitative methods, there are limitations of the quantitative methods. So within feminist research methodology, we also may choose to have mixed methods. Research design, even though it may be, and in most cases it is going to be qualitative, it must strive to achieve the use of mixed methods and should incorporate, for example, quantitative methods as well, because this is when we incorporate both kinds of methods, qualitative as well as quantitative, we are trying to address the limitation of each by bringing the strength of both methods together. So therefore the weaknesses of one set of methods can be offset by the strength of the other if a right combination is achieved, and that should be our effort. Mixed methods are usually more convincing. It becomes easier because there are persons in development practice and in mainstream state machinery where they might be methodologically fundamentalists, where they might not see either set of methods as being right or adequate to represent women's lives. So if we use both of them, it is easier to convince both sides of criticism, and it is also more, it's also better to achieve more quality findings and results if we use both kinds of methods, mixed methods approach. Then after we have had a good combination of methods to achieve the information that is necessary for my research, within feminist research it also becomes very important to use creative and flexible methods and approaches, because the research process is a very long and usually very long, and it might involve grave discussions, because the kind of topics that we study are serious issues, they are sensitive issues, so they might be long, grave discussions. And it is because of this that we might also need to make it more exciting and relevant for the research, for the participant to be equally motivated to be present in the research, and also for the researcher herself to be motivated. So therefore the researcher must make use of participant techniques that are innovative, local and creative, so that not only the process is enjoyable to both but also becomes relevant to the overarching objective of the research. These techniques using of innovative, local and creative participatory methods bring out the best results by way of using local persons' skills and knowledges, and this is also something which makes feminist research methodology distinctive, because it gives power to it acknowledges the power in the local knowledge systems. It acknowledges that the local skills are equally able to contribute to the knowledge creation. Then there is this need to spend more time and effort in the field. Feminist issues are sensitive issues. They involve serious topics, they involve serious discussions, and they also involve the kind of topics about which before one can discuss them, there has to be a sense of ease that has to exist between the researcher and the participant. Therefore, the researcher must spend time in preparing herself to learn required and appropriate skill set, as taking shortcuts in such research can be really dangerous for the aims of the study and also to the aims of feminism. Only once the researcher has spent some time in the field and has had repeated conversations with participants that the trust and atmosphere are built within which women will be feeling comfortable to open about their lives and the dark sides of their lives perhaps. While in the field, the researcher should hold detailed and repeated interviews and be patient in order to hear about participants' lives. There should be efforts to make observations about the cultural, social and political practices that are shaping gender relations in a particular community in the woman's immediate context. Then once we have spent time in the field and collected data, collected information, here comes the time to interpret that information, that data for change in women's lives, because the ultimate aim of feminist research is to bring about change in women's lives. The data has to be interpreted in a manner that is consistent with the findings and can have implications for betterment of women's lives. The principle behind interpretations should be suggestions and implementation of effective interventions based on the findings of the study. The interpretive language should be attentive to and critical of the structural vulnerabilities within which the participants are located. Often the participants are wrongly accused and blamed for their own difficult life situations in social sciences research, and such interpretations will only have a negative, will only have a harmful result for women's lives, for women as a class. The interpretation in many cases can be focused on political analysis of the findings. Policy change affects the maximum number of people, and therefore the data can be used to suggest measures for policy change. Most significantly, when we interpret data, we have to keep in mind that the produced knowledge, that the interpretation is easy to use by the women themselves who participated in the study, who were the target of the study. Once we have interpreted the data, we have some results. Now comes the time to disseminate that result. Often what happens is that once the report is created, the researcher and the research loses its vigor. Considering the goals of feminist research, the researcher should actively participate in taking the reports and the results and take it to the maximum audience, to the maximum stakeholders in women's lives. If it is about a particular aspect of women's lives, for example, education, then it should reach the stakeholders in education. It should reach the maximum audience. That is what it is about. There should be active and vigorous participation in dissemination of the results if the research has to make any impact on women's lives. The research can be sold, it can be advertised to all segments of populations, the participants, the general public, the policy makers, or any other group that has any stake in women's lives. The specific context, the specific subject and setting give reason to the researcher to employ creativity and flexibility throughout the research. And they have to be maintained while taking any steps or adopting any strategies in the field. We cannot have a very fixed, a very rigid set of steps that have to be taken in feminist research methodology. So there has to be creativity, there has to be flexibility, there has to be scope of all of that, because the kind of discussions the kind of subjects we are dealing with requires flexible approach. Throughout the research, the steps taken should lead to development of feminist critical perspective and should question dominant intellectual paradigms and traditions. It is immensely important that at each step, the researcher should reflect on the development of her own self as well as of research itself. Now we focus on a particular part of feminist research methodology, and which was interviewing. How we interview within feminist research methodology gives us the information that can be used to take out any kind of results which are either beneficial to women or they are not. So we have to interview in a manner within feminist research methodology that a kind of research relationship exists between the researched and the researcher. This is where the feminist research methodology distinguishes itself from conventional researches, because in this research there is this immense focus on the relationship that has to exist between both. It is argued that it is neither possible nor advisable to have researcher out of the research. Researcher always is part of the research. His or her own self is always informing the data that is being created during the research. As both, in most cases, both the researcher as well as the researched are women, and as they have the mutual condition of being women, the researcher reflects on her own self, on her own life conditions during the process, and this kind of reflection causes a mutually informing knowledge of the self and also knowledge of the other. The research process in feminist study is thus a dialogue between the researched and the researcher, where both share their experiences, reflect upon them, and communicate those reflections. In feminist research methodology, most of the times feminist researchers are able to develop a very trustful, trust building relationship between herself and the researched, and this is why the researcher is able to, or researcher feels comfortable sharing intimate information and experiences from their lives with the researchers. This becomes possible only when the researcher consciously and continuously tries to erase the power differential that exists between the participant and herself, and this can be done by employing methods which are more participatory in approach. Now we come to our next topic, where we are going to talk about the issues and distinguishing components of feminist research study. They can be summarized as following. Firstly, there is reflexivity. So when we say distinguishing feature, we say that reflexivity is something which happens mainly in feminist research, and it's not considered important to be done in conventional researches in social sciences. It takes forward from a tradition of reminiscence of field experiences, and within feminist research we use reflexivity to gain insights about the gender relations that underlie the research process. Reflexivity is carried out in the research by continuous thoroughgoing review of the field. participants as well as of the researcher's reactions to the field. So when the researcher is reflecting on his or her own self, on identity, on reflection, on reactions to the field, it also makes him or her reflect upon the steps that he or she is taking. Therefore, the steps taken in the research methodology are always open to change and always open to improvement. Through reflexivity, the researcher consciously includes and constructs his or her own role, beliefs, thoughts, experiences, and consciousness throughout the research process. Thus, the researcher's subjectivity is constantly and continuously constituted and articulated. The use of reflexivity is important because it adds to the quality of the responses. Many times it is after reflexivity that a certain method is adopted or dropped during the process of the research. The tools are also continuously shaped by reflexivity in order to better capture what is considered important by the participants, because when we enter the study setting, we might have a certain set of beliefs or assumptions about the phenomenon that we are studying or the target population that we are studying, and it we might during the period of the research get to learn that this is not right, and so we have to understand that our own beliefs, own identities, own subjectivities are influencing how we undertake research. Another significant aspect of feminist research methodology that we have to always be attentive to while doing feminist research is the fact that we have to be always attentive to the action orientation of the research that we are undertaking. Right from the time we select our topic through the steps until the results are disseminated, what should be guiding our research is the fact that it should be having some kind of action orientation. It should be able to have transformative action and transformative results. Also, importantly, feminist research recognizes that emotions are as important as reason. Emotions also reflect upon women's experiences. How they emote is also a data that we are getting when we are doing feminist research. Emotions of anger, fraternity, trust, etc. are based in their lived experiences, and therefore they supplements the accounts that they are giving us. And information thus gained through emotional and verbal accounts are more complete and thus add to the quality of data gathered. Also, we see that most of the times feminist researches are carried out in a given setting, in a given situation. With limited resources to conduct research and due to the nature of research subjects, feminist researchers turn to their immediate contexts. They turn to their immediate settings and employ local techniques. The local and immediate situations become the subject of inquiry and guide the use of methods and techniques. Working with women to transform gender relations, feminist researchers are concerned with studying women's everyday realities, everyday lived experiences, where those inequalities are created and maintained. Thus, it becomes important to conduct study in their ordinary life situations because this is where they experience it. Now we come to our next topic, wherein we try to understand what can be the possible problems and challenges in doing a feminist research. Doing a research with feminist principles, doing a research which is participatory, doing a research which allows flexibility and creativity also leaves a lot of scope for lots of challenges. First challenge is that the kind of topics that we engage with in feminist research are very sensitive. So when we are dealing with sensitive issues, we also have to be very careful that women's everyday lives, their everyday relationship with their family, with their community, etc. are not disrupted because of our research. Then there is this issue of power relations. Feminist research says that there should be minimization of the power differential between the researcher and the research. But then even though we can minimize this gap can never be completely erased, because it is ultimately in the hands of the researcher to actually use the information that has been created, the knowledge that has been created in whatever manner he or she wants, he or she can. So that kind of power differential remains, and that's a major challenge still. Then there is this difficulty of analysis. The data collected with feminist principles through feminist methods like in-depth interviews and oral narratives is usually very large, and there is this when we have a very large data, it becomes very difficult to understand which part of data is more important to analyze, more important to put forth, and because there is always a large number of data which might be important but which might not be given space in the framework of the research that one has undertaken. Also, there is this problem of speaking for others. As a researcher, as a feminist researcher, we are listening to the narratives that women are sharing with us. But how do we use those narratives to speak for them is a big challenge within feminist research. One of the biggest challenges that feminist research faces is the issue of validity. One of the ways to validate research is by answering how far the knowledge created has the transformative potential. Other challenge is the validity is to answer how adequately the results represent women's lives and how fairly various aspects of their social lives have been represented and reflected upon. The challenge is also to keep the voice of the research loud even while such voices are located within a larger theoretical framework. The validity of the research, however, can be best maintained by taking back the records and reports to the participants periodically and validating accounts recordings, so that we have a fair idea that what we are understanding out of the narratives is what the woman is trying to say about her own life. So we see that there is no one way of doing feminist research. When we talk about basics of doing research, we are not really seeing the basic set of tools and techniques that we can employ to do a feminist research. However, it is about employing feminist ideals, feminist principles during each step that we take. We have to employ egalitarian and collaborative research strategies and techniques when we conduct a feminist research, and that is how we can validate women's experiences. While doing so, to enact social change and transformation, feminist researchers definitely face a lot of challenges and a lot of barriers, but they have to be addressed by being flexible, by being creative, right where the context is, right where the situation arises. So this is what is about the basics of doing feminist research, and they have been summarized as a very suggestive reading of how to do feminist research, and there is so much more that can be read about if one has to learn how to do feminist research, in what context, in what time, at what scale. So to have better understanding of all those further nuances within feminist research, one can go through the readings which have been listed in the references section of the text. Thank you very much.